Hey guys, this is John with the Alpha Channel Update here in Los Angeles for Monday, June 25th, 2024. And today we have Conan the Barbarian 173, cover by John Buscema, interior pencils by John Buscema, with a script from Jim Owsley. Jim Owsley, we saw just a little bit ago here in Conan 154, talking smack about editor Larry Hama, who was away at a convention, and making fun of Larry Hama's requested reading list to write for Conan, specifically making fun of Caesar's commentaries. I looked Mr. J. Christopher Owsley up, and suddenly it all makes sense. He was one of Marvel's early diversity hires, and this snarky little back talk here is the beginning of woke at Marvel. He's an unqualified writer who went on to write 860 different issues for Marvel and DC. And this one is okay, but it's a pale comparison to the stuff Roy Thomas was doing. Even Michael Fleischer's was better. This is someone aping a good comic book. This is someone copying. This is not someone who has an internal understanding of the story. And it's not really my place to say. All I have is 2 novels here on YouTube, 26 hours of audiobooks. He has a bunch of credits from Marvel and DC, who now hire crackheads. So, don't take my word for it. Go look up J. Christopher Owsley, Jim Owsley, Chris Priest. He changed his name a lot. I suppose I would do that too if I published a lot of shitty comics. The art is really good. This is John Buscema, and there's some interesting things that happen. These Nemedians see a girl. They're looking for a giant, and they run across this girl, and she immediately starts filling them with arrows, which is kind of cool. And I believe she throws a knife at one, and then grabs a sword off another. So it's kind of, it's all right, but, this is the beginning of, well, I don't know. You'd almost have to read it for yourself. The art is magnificent. Conan is perfect. The motion in the panels is, I can't, every time I look at this, I learn. The only thing that's a little odd is there's a cloud here behind the castle. The sky didn't, just got a flat orange background. Just, they could have done a little bit better on that. But whatever. I mean, I get that they're pressed for time. They're putting out a book a month. So, and I do like this guy's costume. Well, that's John Buscema again. So anyhow, here's a couple pages. I don't want to just flash it and then not show you guys. It's not really fair. And to give Mr. Owsley, or Priest, credit, it's a semi-interesting story. Conan's not the giant that the soldiers are looking for. It's this other fellow living up here in a treehouse named Kiev. And he's got a really, how would you say, pimped out treehouse? I can think of some derogatory slang things I could say about that, but here we get this bit where Kiev is leading them toward, he lost half of a map. There's a treasure map that Conan and this girl have that they want, Kiev has the other half of it. And there's an interesting thing that happens back here where this girl's dad behaves like a complete buffoon and betrays his daughter and runs off. Okay, so the girl's name is Tetra, and that's her father. And he completely betrays her and leaves her with Conan and runs off to these enemy soldiers who he thinks will protect him. That is written by someone who doesn't know their father. That is written by someone whose father betrayed his family. It's not the sort of thing a dad of a beautiful young girl would do. Here is Conan and Tetra fighting this child wizard and his henchmen. And these tentacles that he makes grow out of the ground, roots, they're just, I guess, roots. And that's kind of, they're both about to be killed until the Nemedian captain hits the little boy with an arrow and stops him, and then the things drop Conan. So right up here in this panel. So again, I don't know if Roy Thomas would show a little child being shot with an arrow. Imagine if it were a little black child getting shot with an arrow, written by a white guy. You think that the black community might have something to say about that? This cultural appropriation has to stop. We can't have black guys drawing white characters. writing white characters and talking. Although I take that back because Ryan Benjamin's awesome, and so is Jim Lee. So maybe it just matters whether or not I like what they do. So here the wizard has a giant wall smashed down on the guys. Conan and Tetra escape. I admit that I'm a complete hypocrite about this stuff, but of course I am. It's a culture war. All's fair in love and war, but mostly war. I love this picture of Tetra down here. John Buscema is a genius artist. Oh, and this is pretty great. So the little boy turns Kiev into a version of the Swamp Thing, like a golem. The little boy survived his arrow, and now he's turned Kiev, who's that tall, goony-looking Russian character, into this Swamp Thing. And Maguma, I think, is this savage's, he's a witch doctor, a Congolese witch doctor. And they send Kiev out into the waste to find Conan and destroy him. And that's the end of that episode. And, you know, after 886 issues, 886 comics, and no one knows this guy's name, maybe there's a reason. Maybe I'm being a little hard on him. I don't have any comics, and nobody knows my name either, so, you know, what right do I have to talk? Time for Wildwood Tarot. I have no idea what we're going to get today. I have not looked at it yet, but here's the Hooded Man. I love this. It's really, really good. Ooh, this looks interesting. So, Wildwood Tarot. This is the Six of Bows, Abundance. So you have a fire, bows sectioning the camp off into different coordinates, and then you have a bunch of grain and fruit arranged around the outside of the campfire, and a nice little sort of lean-to rooftop tree bit. I just love the colors. Everything about this deck is amazing. It really is fantastic. You should pick yourself up a copy. You should pick yourself up a copy if you can. And I do want to show you guys this. I taped it down. So this is the new composition, if you can see it. It's loose in the center because it's made of 4 pieces of 8.5 by 11. And I really kind of like working this way. I like being able to fold it up and take it with me when I go. I travel quite a bit, so this works out for me. But I'm really happy with the composition and the follow through. As soon as I finish this, I'm about to spend the rest of the night tonight working on it. And so that's going to be fun for me. I hope you guys are having a good week. It's Monday, so it's the start of the week for everyone. And I'm not going to do the Alpha Channel Ideals tonight. I think I did a pretty good job yesterday. And I'm not going to apologize for yesterday's. Some of these, I've noticed that my energy ebbs and flows, probably depending on the time of day and whether or not I just finished a workout or whether or not I just did this or that. But yesterday's energy was a little weird. I think I was maybe a little sun poisoned, still a little burned. But I'm certainly not going to apologize for anything I say here. I'm aiming to be as toxic as possible. I'm doing hand-painted hand grenades and a racing game called Race War. You can send me your email at alphachannel.games and I'll get you on the mailing list. It's going to be a little bit before we have a video ready to show, but I know where it's going and I'm really happy with it, and I know what I'm doing with all this, so I hope you guys have something fun lined up. Please tell me about it. And if you're working on stories, most of today I spent working on a story for a friend about Paradise Lost, and so I'm going to do a bit of that tonight too. And I have strengths there that are not so easy to flash like illustration. You know, it's much harder to show a story. A picture's worth 1,000 words, as they say. So drawing has its strengths, especially in a video / visual world. I'm really happy. I hope you guys find something like this. Tonight's video is a little all over the place. I'm really just doing these to keep up, and so check out ashleyfox.ninja here on YouTube on this channel. So all right, talk to you next time. Bye.